What's up, guys? Just want to make a quick video for you on 5 stocks that I am watching in the near and even the long-term future. I just wanted to keep these on your radar, go over a little technical analysis, let you know what I'm looking at, why I'm looking at it, and then you guys can decide from there if that's something that you think is worth investing in. So let's start with Workhorse. Workhorse has been an up and down stock for a long time now. Many of you know it. They recently had an agreement with Pride that said that they're able to produce 6,300 vehicles for them. They're still waiting on the USPS contract, so it's been a bumpy ride. We've gone up to highs around $31, then we crashed down, and we came up, and we went down with a big gap here, and it looks like everything with Workhorse is starting to turn bullish. You can see we're starting an uptrend here. We're hitting a bit of resistance. We're starting to consolidate a bit, going up by the upper Bollinger Bands, but everything looks to be pointing in the right direction for them. Let's take a look at the RSI. So the RSI is still good. We're not oversold. If you're looking at that, that's a good sign. The MACD seems to be turning bullish. Doesn't look to be weakening at all, so I think that Workhorse is in a good position. I would keep eye on Workhorse. Alright, the next stock that we're going to be looking at over here is going to be Hyliion, ticker symbol HYLN. You guys might know this as Shell. Shell was a big play a couple months ago before the merger. So this was a SPAC, and once it started to get some momentum, it reached up here around the $33, and it dropped down a little bit, and then it went crazy right before the merge date, reaching like $60 a share. And it started to crash a little bit, people were just consolidating, and it just dropped off. And it's been dropping ever since, but it looks to be trading sideways as of late, and I really think that we might have seen a bottom here. $10 would be the absolute bottom, but where we're at right now, the 17, 15, somewhere around there, I really think that this is the bottom for Hyliion. So I would start looking at increasing shares. I have been adding all the way down, so my shares are still negative because I've been adding on the trip down, but I think that next couple days or so, I'm going to add to my position. I think that we found a bottom. I think it's going to come back up. If you're looking at the RSI looks great. Not oversold at all. Kind of middle of the road. Was really overbought. The RSI looks good. Now, the MACD, see here, very weak. There's no momentum here for a long time, ever since the beginning of December. We've just been kind of trading sideways, consolidating. But you can see it's starting to come back up. So I think now would be a good time to start building a position with Hyliion if you feel that in the long term, the catalysts that they have warrant that. Next stock here, is Beyond Meat. So Beyond Meat, this isn't an EV play like the last two. This is a meatless product. So they have big catalysts with major restaurant chains such as McDonald's. They produce burgers and meats that don't have meat. So been an up and down ride. Highs around 197, and then it just came crashing down. Part of it is because they have competition with Impossible Meats, and Impossible recently said that they're lowering the price to make them better able to compare against beef products. So I think that hurt Beyond a little bit. But they have a bunch of catalysts, they have a bunch of contracts with supermarkets, restaurants, and I think that in the long term, they will bounce back. So I have a position. I actually have a position in every stock I'm going to talk about today. But I've been adding as we've been here towards the bottom. Start adding around the 120s or so. So see, it dropped, consolidated, came up a little bit, dropped again. Looking at the RSI, we were very oversold, starting to come back up. I think this is where we're going to start to see the surge again. So on the MACD, we're still negative. Or looks like we're about to cross back over positive. So I think that this might be the perfect time for you guys to jump in and start grabbing some cheap shares before it goes back up. You gotta look here. Look at this. It's at right now we're at like 120. It was at a high of almost 200. So you got close to $80 per share equity, and I think that now would be the time to start adding. So Beyond Meat is one that I will continue to add. Next stock is Alibaba, B-A-B-A, Baba. So recently there's been a crash on Baba because the U.S. government didn't trust Chinese stocks. They wanted to impose different restrictions on them. There was talk that there was delisting. Jack Ma, the CEO for Alibaba, went missing. He's been since found, and the stock just throughout all that just took a bunch of hits. You see, we're up here around 319 not so long ago, but since then it's been firstly a very drastic drop, and then we've just had a steady drop. Oh, here's another drastic drop. There's big gaps over here. So, big red candle. But I think that we might have found a bottom. This is a pretty well-known point of resistance. You can see it's tapped here a bunch of times. So it was resistance in the past. I think now it's going to act as a support level. I'm hoping that during this consolidation we can go back into climbing and ascending. RSI, very oversold over here. See, it dropped below. It was at 22. And it started to come back. We're starting to work our way towards the middle of the RSI chart here. I think that now is a great time to buy. The MACD, you can see all the momentum is going down. Starting to come back up. We just crossed over. I think it's looking green here. I really think that very similar to Beyond Meat, now would be the time to get in with this stock. I think we found a bottom. And it's a great company. It's the Amazon of China. I don't think in the long term that Alibaba is going to be a cheaper stock than it is now. I would start to add to your position. Now here's another stock that I added just this week. Might be a little bit more speculative. It's called EBON. The ticker signal is EBON, E-B-O-N. Company's name is eBank. They do a lot in the Bitcoin space. They work with mining and production of Bitcoin materials and support, very tied into Bitcoin. As you know, Bitcoin is going crazy recently. You see that by the spikes over here recently. But Bitcoin also took a bit of a tumble in the last couple of days. So with that, EBON has also been taking a tumble since they're very, very linked. If you look back, we hit highs around $15. Then we started to drop down, and then with the craze of Bitcoin, we started to come back up again. The reason I bought in is because of Bitcoin. I really think that in the next 5 years, 10 years, Bitcoin is just going to go crazy. With that, I think EBON will go crazy. So you could invest directly into Bitcoin, or you can invest into some of the companies that support or use Bitcoin. I choose to do both. EBON is one of the companies that I choose to invest in relation to Bitcoin. So looking down here at the RSI, very oversold for a long time. Did not look good. Just started crossover. This is when all the hype for Bitcoin started. Reached up here, close to overbought, or close to oversold. Drop down, we're in the middle, and I think that this is more of a long-term play for me. I think it's going to go up and it's going to go down, but in general, I think it's going to go up. Looking at the MACD, starting to go down sideways, so we might see another big dip here. But if you look, how much further can it fall? We're at $4 or so on the bottoms here. This is a big level, 380, 394. I think that's a big level of support at this point. Right now we're at 570. So what's it going to drop? Another $1.70 a share at the absolute worst. I think that I'm going to continue to pick up shares for this company. So again, guys, these are the 5 stocks that I've been looking at. These are the ones that I'm keeping on my watch list. Feel free to do the same for yourself. Keep track of them, watch them, add as they drop if you feel that the company is warranted. Please like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you feel about these stocks, or if there's any more that you'd like me to take a look at. I really appreciate everybody taking the time to see this video, and I really want to get to 100 subscribers, so please subscribe. It's free. You can always unsubscribe. I appreciate you guys taking a look. Have a great week.